We're gonna be trying all the best pizzas in the US and picking the ultimate winner. The places we're going to are Chicago, Detroit, Washington, and New York. And we're gonna be trying all their famous pizzas and deciding which city has the best pizza in the United States. The first city we're in is Chicago, and we're gonna be trying a Chicago style deep dish pizza. This is a thick pizza that looks more like a pie, and inside it has cheese, sauce, and any other toppings of your choice. The crust itself is relatively thin, which allows the other ingredients to be the highlight of the pizza. So the place we're choosing is Lou Malanti's, which is a popular spot for both locals and tourists, but this is the one we were recommended, so let's go give that a try. A deep dish pizza is baked in a pie pan with the dough pressed up on the sides, and the toppings are basically put in opposite order as they would be on an average pizza. The cheese goes first all the way at the bottom, then any of the other toppings, and then the sauce goes on top. This keeps the cheese from burning since the pizza is in the oven for longer than usual, and at this place the pizza was made in half an hour.
For the Chicago style pizza, I really like the crust. I thought it was nice and crispy on the bottom. I was worried it was gonna be soggy just because of how thick the pizza is, but honestly, it was so well done.
Yeah, I really liked the crust. It was nice and thin, and it tasted really well on this pizza. For the cheese, I thought it wasn't cooked in too well. I thought it was a bit too much, and I didn't really like the cheese as much.
I really like the cheese, actually. I thought it was done perfectly.
And then I thought the sauce was pretty good. I thought the sauce on top gave it a nice texture. You could see the tomatoes in there.
I thought the sauce was really good too. I like the seasoning in it.
And then the sausages were a great touch for the pizza. Really like how they were in there. I won't give out the ratings. That'll be at the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to the next place. The next city we're in is Detroit, and we're gonna be trying a Detroit style pizza. The crust of the pizza is very crispy, and it has a very thin layer at the sides, and the cheese and the rest of the toppings spread themselves up throughout the edges of the pizza. And so the place we're at is called Buddy's Pizza, and this is the place to get a Detroit style pizza. It's the most popular one here, and we're at its original location on Continent 6 Mile Road. So a Detroit style pan pizza has a crispy layer of crust, but similar to the Chicago deep dish, everything is put in reverse order. That was definitely such a good pizza. The crust was probably one of the best on any pizzas I've had. It has like a little bit of cheese on the sides, and it's a nice thin crust. Love the crust.
It was so crunchy and delicious. And the cheese on the pizza was so delicious. It was so stringy.
Yeah, the cheese was really, really good. Love the cheese on that. The sauce being at the top is really cool. It's a nice touch. And then having the toppings in the middle. Overall, just a very, very good pizza. Really like the Detroit style pizza.
I think the Detroit style pizza is definitely one of my favorite pizzas I've ever had.
But we still have a few more to try, so let's find out which pizza is the best in the US. Now we're in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and we're gonna be trying a D.C. jumbo slice. They're pretty similar to a New York style pizza, just a massive version of them. These are really popular late night foods. The lineups here are usually really long for these. The place we're gonna be trying this pizza is at Duchini's Pizza, and it's in the Adams Morgan neighborhood. And this is where we're gonna be getting a DC jumbo slice. So here we are at Duchini's Pizza, and we're trying a famous DC jumbo slice. Let's see how good it is. We're right now in the Adams Morgan neighborhood of Washington, and this is just a nice area. There's a bunch of nice little restaurants here. It's a great spot for a night out. This is such a massive slice that came out, the DC jumbo slice. Let's give it a try though, see what we think of it. Super cheesy. The pepperonis are nice and crunchy. It's got a nice thin crust too. I gotta say the cheese on that pizza was actually really good. I would give that a pretty solid rating, maybe like a 9 out of 10. The crust wasn't too bad. It was like a nice average little crust. I really like those pepperonis and the sauce though too. They really blended well with the pizza. It's actually a pretty good pizza.
For me, the pizza was a 9.5 out of 10. Honestly, it was so good. The cheese was so good. The pepperoni was so good. The sauce was so good. Overall, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid pizza out here in DC. But now we're on to the next one. And the last one we're trying is a New York City style of pizza. The New York City slice is usually just a thin crust, big slice of pizza that's hard on the outside and soft on the inside, so you can fold it up and eat it on the go like everyone else does in the city. It all started when the Italians moved here and used all the ingredients that were available to them, and they created the first ever pizzeria in USA, and that was here in New York City at Lombardi's. But that's not the place where we're gonna be trying the pizza. We're gonna go to the place that's the most famous in New York, and the one that most New Yorkers consider the best pizza in New York City, and the one that seems like a more traditional New York slice, and that's at Joe's Pizza. When there's a great pizza, there's a great line right behind it. All right, so here we got our slice right here. You just fold it up. Pepperonis look good, a bit oily. Let's give it a try. Got pretty good cheese here. The sauce is pretty nice as well. I like the pepperonis, but I like them a bit more crunchy than this. So with the cheese, I'm gonna have to say maybe like a 9. The sauce was probably a 9 as well. The pepperonis, I'm gonna give them an 8. I like the crust though. It's a nice thin crust. Tastes pretty good. I'm gonna give the crust a 9 as well. Now comes the time to crown the winner of the best pizza in America. So we'll start off with Chicago. The deep dish pizza from Lou Malante's was really good. I'd give it bonus points for creativity.
I loved the Chicago style pizza. The cheese was so delicious, and the toppings hidden inside in between the pizza was so good.
And Detroit was so good as well. I love the way like it was crispy on the sides. It was just another creative way to do a pizza. Really love that pizza from Buddy's Pizza.
It was a really, really good style. I agree with Michael. I loved the crispy outside. It was so delicious.
And then Washington, D.C. I love how it's a jumbo slice. It actually tasted pretty good too. Had nice crunchy pepperonis, which is what I like.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
And then New York. It's just a classic New York pizza from Joe's Pizza, the popular place from Spider-Man.
Serious to me too, Mr. Aziz. You're fired. Go.
Can't say too much about it. It's the most popular one here.
For me, it was just an average slice of pepperoni pizza, just a good quality pizza.
So now we'll start with the rankings. And in 4th place, I'm gonna put New York. The pizza was pretty good. I like the way it tastes when you fold it up. And out of all these amazing pizzas, someone has to be last, and that's gonna be New York.
I have to agree with Michael. I think New York is my 4th place too. It was just a simple, really, really good pizza, but nothing stood out for me.
And then in 3rd place, I'm gonna do Washington. The pizza from Duchini's was very similar to the New York style pizza. The only difference is I like the crispier pepperonis on that one.
For my 3rd place, Washington too. Again, it was an average slice. It was really good. I liked it a little bit more than the New York just because it was a jumbo slice, so that was a little bit different.
But now comes time to crown the winner. So the 2 ones left is Chicago and Detroit. We both have the exact same pizza chosen as our winner, and that one is gonna be
Detroit! Woo!
Amazing pizza. Not as cool of a city, but the pizza is just so good from there. I love the crispy sides. Everything about it is just like an amazing pizza. It's a caloric bomb, but it's so, so, so good.
Yep. And Chicago, honestly, it was insane how good it was. And the toppings inside, the vegetables and the cheese, everything was just so good. But the Detroit crispy outside just put it over the top for me.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment below any other cities or places that have really good pizza, and maybe I'll check them out next. Check out some of my other food challenges and travel vlogs in my channel. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.